Well, I almost don't separate the two processes of sustainability and destination management. I see them as very much the same thing. Destination management is about the management of the environment just as much as it is about the management of the economy. It is about the environment and making sure the environment's protected as part of tourism development, so that yes, local businesses can gain financially out of the tourism resource, the landscape, but that landscape is protected and enhanced through the tourism activities. I see it as being utterly interconnected. And certainly for a national park, we have a duty to worry about the environment, both in terms of the routes that people will walk on, the protection of the landscape, the protection of the wildlife, but also how businesses manage their own affairs, so their impacts on the environment are not so great. And lastly, the other side of sustainability, of course, is the local community, and making sure that community values are not impacted on and are celebrated in a way that adds to the culture of the local community rather than detracts from them. Collaborate is Interreg 4B Northwest Europe project, which is basically a way of saying it's European money brought in to fund a partnership which is transnational and which is exploring themes around the clustering of businesses and indeed the combination of those clusters into a partnership. In Brecon Beacons, we now have 13 clusters of businesses working either on themes or in localities, and they are developing their local tourism products. So the horse riding people are trying to develop the horse riding product. They're working together, buying supplies jointly, those sort of things, whereas some of the locality clusters are putting on festivals, organising walks, putting together itineraries for people to go on, looking at local food and how it can be integrated into the area. But that's what happens at the local area. What is equally interesting and probably even more important in the destination management sphere, because we see sustainability and indeed destination management as being a partnership activity. It's something that all the organisations involved in the area can contribute and need to contribute to. And that's true of the people who manage the toilets as much as people who are putting out marketing and publicity about the area. So we have something like 30 people on our tourism partnership. Some of those are tourism businesses, which is very, very important. Some of them are state, public sector tourism bodies. Others are conservation people, really, who are giving us advice and opportunities where we can develop the tourism product without damaging the environment. We've got a team of 6 people now working on tourism within the National Park Authority, which is great. 2 of those people are involved with Collaborate, so very much supporting those small clusters of businesses to undertake work at that local level. But we are part of a wider scheme of things, in the sense that the National Park Authority does run visitor centres, does organise the looking after of footpaths, does do conservation work, does do historic buildings work. And so it is a big team effort, and in many ways the National Park Authority itself is a tourism body in its own right, and really all it does focus back onto the visitor and the visitor economy. But it isn't just the National Park Authority, and I think that probably is one of the key things I'd continue to stress, is that destination management is a partnership activity, and it's all the local authorities involved, it's the trade association, Brecon Beacons Tourism, it's organisations like Countryside Council for Wales, all have something to contribute towards this broader thing called destination management. There has in the past been a number of different versions of a trade association in the Brecon Beacons, but certainly when the authority decided after foot and mouth that it needed to put time and effort into tourism development, there was virtually nothing in place to bring businesses together. It actually came out of the development of the Sustainable Tourism Strategy back in 2006. And we involved a number of people from the trade in that process because of this commitment to partnership working. And through that, it became obvious that one of the key missing elements within destination management in the Brecon Beacons is a representative trade body. We can talk to individual businesses quite clearly, and we did, but actually to have a collective view was going to be very, very important. And so out of that process grew the Brecon Beacons Tourism, and we see it as an equal partner in the management of the destination as a whole. We listen very clearly to their views, but also, they do an awful lot of the work on the ground, and they are indeed very well placed to do so. And so we see it as a very fruitful and long-term relationship. We're not ourselves putting money into that organisation, but if there are grants going, we try to make sure that they can benefit from them as well as ourselves.